time. I'm back. I hope you're excited to see me because I'm excited to be here. But it's been a really, really great week. I've been enjoying all of these virtual launch recordings and episodes. It's just been a vibe. And I appreciate everybody that has shown up and has shown out and has been transparent and have had fun. I wanted them to be like, 30 minutes or so. They've been like an hour and change. Like we just been vibing and it's been amazing. The information we've shared, the tips we've given, the advice, the experience we've shared. It's just been a phenomenal experience. And I'm so happy and I am elated and I'm super excited about this project. If you don't know by now, if you have not been watching, we are here because we are working on we released a project called Employee to Empire, where we are talking about how you can literally go from working for somebody else and being your own boss. And I feel like in this day and age with millennials and the future generations, that we are out here just really taking over the world. And like we're here to conquer. We're here to just do what as we please and build wealth while we do it. So I'm super excited today. And if you haven't gotten your copy of Employee to Empire yet, go to employertoempire.com and grab your copy. Like, not right now, do it after this, but I'm just saying, make sure you get it today. But today, I have a phenomenal business owner who is a dear friend. He is so amazing. Actually, I remember my first time meeting him was I was doing a beauty shoot. And as creatives, right? As we talked about yesterday with Muggsy McFly, when you're creative, you get continual downloads every 5 seconds. Every 5 seconds. And I was new in business and I was trying to figure out, okay, what did I want to offer? How did I want to serve? What did I want to do? And so I came with an idea of creating a lip gloss line. Like I love makeup, but I'm not a makeup specialist. Shout out to Stays Pretty because she be getting me together every time. But I'm not a makeup specialist, but I love me a nice, cute little lip gloss. And I was like, well, why not? Right. And so I started a whole brand called Maximum Beauty and I did a professional branding campaign. And that's when I met the lovely gentleman that wants to come to the screen right now. Say hello to the beautiful people.
Good morning, everybody. How are you? Good morning. Good morning.
And he was just so cool and just like he just the level of service, his personality, like it was just so much fun. Do you remember that?
I definitely do remember that.
Right? It was so much fun. I was in Yonkers. We don't talk about Yonkers, but you know what I'm saying? It was just a vibe. It was beautiful. The girls that were there, it was like 7 of us. We were literally working from like 10 to like 8 o'clock at night. I fed everybody. Like it just was so
we were there
fun.
until dark. The light
Exactly, right?
Yep.
But that helped me to show that I love to do branding, that I love to do marketing, and here we are today. Hello, right? So go ahead, Garon. Tell the beautiful people who you are.
Hi, my name is Garon Johnson. I'm co-founder. I'm owner LLC. I'm owner of Just My Perspective Photography. I'm a wedding, portrait, and event photographer. I absolutely love taking photos. And honestly, photography is what got me to meet Chanel. And that's part of the reason why I'm here right now. So I'm forever grateful for that. And in my own opinion, moments only last a moment. So I want to capture them with you so you can hang on to them for a lifetime.
I love that. You better come through with the quotes. I'm just saying. But I'm super excited to be here with you and to see your growth and where you are today from when you started and like how your picture quality and just how you can tell you've learned so much over like the past couple of years. And I'm super excited for you and super proud of where you are and how you're continuing to go and how you're continuing to grow. I'm just saying, how do you feel?
I feel great, man. I feel great. It's still, I still surprise myself, in most instances. Like you said, it's just been a couple of years, and it's sometimes unbelievable to tell somebody, yeah, I picked up my first camera in March of 2019. March 16th of 2019 was when the first camera was handed.
Wow. Mm-hmm.
And sometimes you can almost count out 2019, or 2020 rather, with COVID. But I don't, because that's where I did most of my learning. So.
Mm-hmm. First of all, I don't like the big C. We're not even friends. I don't even say the big C's name. Like you don't even get the what. That's a whole other conversation. But yeah, so what made you want to pick up a camera and start the photography journey?
Honestly, I've always been interested in having the best smartphone with the best camera.
Mm-hmm.
Once you get past the fact that every phone sends emails, make phone calls, send text messages, what it really comes down to is the camera on the phone. And I've always wanted to have the phone with the best camera. I've always wanted to have. I always had a Samsung Galaxy Note. I've always gone with the Note series because they have phenomenal cameras. I've had them from the Note
Or you're talking about Android phones?
yeah, yeah, they do. And for listen, I get it, and more. And recently, I've gotten into the iPhone platform as a second phone, as a business phone, and it's a phenomenal phone. It's a phenomenal camera, but again, I'm an Android lover, So yeah, and my friends they've always seen me as let that guy take the picture or let him record the video, and I never thought anything of it. I've gone on photo shoots with friends before, and never thought anything of it, and God did it. One day a gentleman said to me, "I have a camera at home. Do you want it?" And I said, "What do you mean? Do I want it?" And he's like, "You can have it. It's just sitting there collecting dust." And he brought it to work the next day, and
Hello.
2022, here we are sitting here with fantastic Chanel. Yeah.
That's amazing. Isn't it so funny how things just divinely happen? Like you don't even like think about it. It just like, oh, okay, right. Like, sure, like give it to me. You could easily be like, no, I don't want any camera. Like for what? Like, you know what I mean? But you were like, yeah, give it to me. And then look how you blossom and look how you've grown. So from where you are, from where you started to where you are today, how do you feel you've grown?
I feel like I've grown tremendously. I mean, I've admired so many people's work over the years, and it's a different feeling to have somebody else admire your work.
Mhm.
And to even admire your own work. I still look at images and things that I took 2 years ago and used to be so in love with them. And it's not that I'm not in love with them anymore. It's just like I'm just looking at where I'm coming from.
Mhm. Mhm. So what do you feel is have been the key factors to your growth?
Team building,
Mhm.
building a team, having others that you can depend on, others that you can learn from, and even teaching others. You learn through listening and learn through teaching. So that all those things contribute to my success.
Mhm. And what do you feel has been an obstacle or challenge?
Um, time,
Mhm.
time management, which I've definitely gotten better at over the years.
Mhm.
Working full time, and as much as you'd like to think photography is a side gig, it is actually a full time job.
Mhm.
Fortunately, I don't have any children, but that would be a challenge in its own,
Mhm.
that I didn't have to face. But definitely time management, and I think that's something that I've always been told that I struggled with was time management. And
Mhm.
even more recently, I thought to myself, how could people tell me that I've struggled with time management when I work a 50-hour a week full time job and
Mhm.
develop the business at the same time?
Right.
I just found that I was prioritizing different than they wanted me to prioritize.
Mhm. 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 And so when you say time management, I listen, I get time management. Child. Like and you said you're doing both. So and we had individuals that were on previously that are still in the parallelpreneur phase, right? Where they're managing a job and then managing their business, right? And it's like that's a whole nother level of time management, right? Because you're like you have to work for somebody else and be who you need to be within that role, but then make time for what it is that you're truly passionate about and what your purpose is, right? And so it's like and then it's like, well, there's things that I want to do but I can't because I have to work, right? And so it's like navigating through all of those pieces and planning out time so that you can meet the expectations of both experiences, if that makes sense, right? And
Absolutely.
so for you, what do you say in managing both besides time, what do you feel has been a challenge with having a full-time job and also having a business as well?
The biggest challenge I would say for me is once the business started to build and you started to see, I mean, others will probably see value in your business before you see it yourself. So other people
Mhm.
will push you and say, some people, you obviously have those who will discourage you, but we need talking about those. We need, I
Oh,
know
we're
you
gonna
want
talk about those.
we'll talk
We
about
gonna
those,
talk
but
about those, but they gonna get a small portion of the
yeah,
conversation. Go
yeah,
ahead.
yeah. They get a small portion, but they contribute a lot. But
Yeah, it just
yeah, yeah. So you have your parents and your siblings and your friends and those people who will be like, yo, man, this is really good stuff. Why are you not charging for this, or why are you charging so little for this, or why are you not making a bigger deal out of this? And then you're like, I'm just trying something. So those things those things I totally got sidetracked from the question. I'm just
you're
learning.
fine. No, we were You're absolutely fine. We were talking about the challenge that it was in managing both the
Yeah.
full-time
So
opportunity as well as your business.
the biggest challenge I would say is once you started to see that value in yourself, is not to turn your back on platforms that may have built you to that, and
Mm-hmm.
not to be like, oh man, this I'm more than this now. You're all those things contributed to the success that you have. So, and not turning your back and just be like, oh, I'm out, because people are quick to be like, oh, I don't want to work for this person anymore. I don't want to,
Mm-hmm.
and that's easier said than done. Like most other things.
Oh yes, you're absolutely right. Like a lot of times it's like, and I don't want to say that it's not that you're being humbled and you're like, screw y'all, right? But
Yeah.
it's more of a thing of like once you start doing things that you are passionate about and you feel is aligned with your purpose, when you do anything else, it literally feels like it's just draining and taking away from you versus adding value, right? So for some, yes, it might be like, oh, this ain't worth my time, so forget y'all, right? But for
Yeah.
others, it's just like it, like if you're not doing the thing that you really want to do and like externally, internally it takes a toll on you
Oh
mentally,
yeah,
emotionally,
absolutely.
physically, spiritually, right? And so that's kind of where I feel like the shift comes from. It's just like, yeah, I appreciate all that you've gotten me this far, but you can't get me to where I want to be. And so now
Right.
what do I have to do now so that I can be aligned and I can have the success that I want to do, the success that I want in the business that I'm building, right? And so I completely understand what you're saying and how you're feeling. And what do you feel, you mentioned earlier in team building, what do you feel has been a really great success within building a team?
Connecting with the right people, having the
Mhm,
right people in your space, and just having those who are equally passionate about the things that you're passionate about.
mhm,
um,
mhm,
that really contributed a lot, and you know just being able to pick on people's energy, and part of the reason why we're sitting here,
mhm,
from
mhm.
that first day in Yonkers, that we're not going to talk about.
Not
You
young.
know, we were able to connect in that way, and just know that we're people who are truly passionate about the things that we're doing, and it really helps to get the right people in your space.
Yeah, to be very honest, I'm very big on energy too. I'm very big on like first impression and not like not 100% on first impression because sometimes, people kind of come in with their own energy and their own personality and they may come off in a certain way, but it's because it's their own coping and defense mechanism, right? So I take first impression, yes, but then I take lasting impression, right? So like during the whole time that we were there, like it just was like you were just your energy, your dedication to assisting and still learning and your positive attitude and just how you were in general and just was like, yeah, I think that you're a really great person. And for me, I'm like you said, having the right people around you is super important. That's way a major part of my life, like making sure that I'm aligned to the right people, make sure that the people that are around me are aligned to me. And when I say aligned to me, not necessarily meaning aligned to my business and the level of success that I want, meaning aligned from an energy perspective, from a mental mindset perspective, right? From an emotional perspective. Because Lord, you could get the wrong people in your life and you just get the one wrong person and they will just blow your whole situation up, right? In any way, shape, or form. So you're
Yeah.
absolutely right. And regards to building a team and having the right people around you as well, and also having mentors that can help you to really like teach you things that you may not necessarily understand in the time in that moment, but then as you continue to learn and grow, you always want to be a student and always understand that there's opportunity for you to learn, change, and grow as well. So I have really enjoyed seeing your journey and seeing your growth from when we first met at the Doc and Yonkers until now, and you see it within your photos as well. And so I know that this was something that you've wanted, and I'm super excited to see where you go, how you grow, and the development of your photography and your talent. And I'm just super excited. And you said that you have a studio in Connecticut, so tell us about that and how that
Oh,
came to
man.
pass.
Oh yeah. I mean, it's recently, my team and I, we recently had a meeting the other day, and we were like, man, can you believe it's only been 6 months? We got in there in September. I was actually in Jamaica at the time, for a
Mhm,
family funeral, and I
mhm,
remember the guys getting the keys and doing all the paperwork through over the phone, and sending my portion of deposits, and doing virtual signatures and so forth. And I've never been so excited to come back I've never ever been so excited to come back. And I remember being on the plane, and the check-in process was the easiest, the absolute easiest that it's ever been. I don't know if it's I was happy to come back, but right in, no problems, no nothing. No, I was traveling with my mother. There was no over. She always overpacks, but there was no overweight issue this time. Again, everything went really smooth. And I got back, and and we had this blank canvas of a space that we could call our own and do so much with. And in the first month, we got in there, and we brought in furniture and set up backdrop and set up lighting. And then the following month we started to paint and do all these fantastic things, and we started to feel so much better about the space. And even the owners of the building came in, and they were like, whoa,
what did you do?
whoa, and that it was such a good feeling, to see them happy with the way that we had transformed the space. And every day that we go in there, it's literally a 45-minute drive to the studio. And I've never had a problem with making that drive. I've never one day I've sat in traffic with chips, with my headphones in because the speakers in my car are terrible. Whatever, you know what I'm saying? And going there is just, it's such a good feeling. I'm leaving home, but I'm going home.
I like literally, I listen, people. I had my own photo session. Listen, I have been along this journey from like 2017, right? And to see how the whole, like I call it an empire, right, has grown substantially is it's insane to me, right? But in a beautiful way, like in an exciting way, not like, oh, I no, like you guys deserve everything that you have in regards to your dedication, in regards to your drive, in regards to how you work as a team. Like you guys deserve all of that. Like, so to see when I saw the video of the keys, I was like, yeah, listen, I'll be in my own world 99% of the time, but I see everything, and I will forever be you guys' biggest cheerleader. And wanting you guys to have as much success. And so to see when you first started, and then now seeing the amazing space that you created, I can understand why the owners are like, because you guys literally transformed the space. Like you literally have like 5 or 6 different, like in one room, session backgrounds, like literally, right? And that just shows how you guys are so talented. That's one, and shows your dedication and the teamwork that you have. That's so important. Like that is like the most important piece. And you said something major, that like, yes, you are coming from home, but it is your home. And because it's, again, aligned to what you want to do, and it's aligned to your purpose, it just feels natural for you to just be excited and want to do the things that you do in regards to taking photos, and in regards to being at events, in regards to having your own studio. And it's only going to be up from here, right? Like it's literally only going to be up from here.
Yeah, can't
So
stop.
what do you feel outside of the studio? What do you feel is one of your biggest accomplishments in your photography business?
I saw a video once, and he said something. I'm sure I'm gonna butcher this. He said something along the lines of, we're most happy with a service that we can provide to others. And I remember going to an event and capturing an image of a mother and son that didn't even know that they were being photographed. And I never go over to them right away, because I just let them enjoy their moment. And I walked by them once they had settled, and showed them the photo. And it turns out that they hadn't seen each other in years.
Oh wow.
So capturing moments like that, really, like it does a lot for me. I go home at the end of the day, and one of our team members and partners, Calon, will tell you, sometimes I get home and I put the memory card right into the computer, because it's almost like I can't really sleep until I know that I did the job. And so sometimes I get home right away. He's like, man, this guy's pulling pictures up right away.
He ain't lying, because we did a photo shoot for Noli. We did a photo shoot for Noli, right? Noli Fashion. She's one of the featured business owners on this book project as well. And it was so much fun. We went to a studio somewhere in the Bronx, right?
Oh yeah.
And you literally took our photo. Like it was like what, 5 of us, maybe 4 of us, taking photos in clothes. And because Noli Fashion is a boutique. And like 5 minutes later, like we were done. We were there for hours. It felt like 4 or 5 hours. It
Yeah,
felt like
hours.
right, and
Yeah,
so it started in a disastrous way because I think Kellan was in an accident that day,
yeah, yeah,
right?
yeah.
And then
Yeah.
was it and
Rel was
then
supposed to come. I think something
something
happened.
happened, right? And
Yeah.
so it was literally Garon and like five of us to take like all these photos, and
I
then we
was,
had
I
a
was,
time
I was
limit.
like, my eyebrows. I tell you, that day was the day that I discovered that my eyebrows and my hairline could meet because my eyebrows were like, I could. I was like, I don't know how I'm gonna do this. I was in there the whole time. You guys probably don't know that, but I was in it. How am I gonna do this? How am I gonna do this? And I'll be honest. Yesterday, I know you saw me posting those photos yesterday. Those to date are probably the photos that I am the most proud of because of the challenge that came from it.
Yeah,
And
you did it. You did. We had the music going. He was like, "All right, you come here. You come here. All right, Shana, go back. You come back." And like we had like like 4 or 5 different scenarios and
yeah,
scenes, and then we all had like 3 or 4 different outfits. And listen, he held it down. I will tell you that
I
much.
still
Like
can't believe it.
he really did it. He really. It was. I could. If I felt stressed, I know you felt stressed. Like I know you did, but you did a
That's why
great
I couldn't go to sleep. That's why you guys got the photos as quickly as you did because the stress. I don't even know if it was stress, anxiety. Everything was just here. So I got home and I was like, I can't even go to sleep.
Right, right,
Crazy.
right. But that also just shows your dedication to your work, and also in regards to the level of work that you provide to individuals as well, right? Like it shows again just your dedication to the value that you add, but also to the customer service that you provide as well. And so what would you say would be your piece of advice to somebody that wants to start their own photography business?
Figure out what your niche is. Figure out is it portrait, is it product? There's so many. Last night I took a Cal and I were on the phone till 2:30 in the morning. So
Mhm.
we were looking at Peerspace and we were looking at Thumbtack and I got on Thumbtack and I just to browse it and I was just looking at it and I was just thinking like, look at all these services that people are asking for. Some people are asking for headshots. Some people are asking for products. Some people are asking for newborn. So I would definitely encourage those who are venturing to figure out what you're best at. Figure out
Mhm.
what you're best at. Sure, yeah, I want to take photos, but what type of photos do you want to take? I had friends who only did landscape photos,
Mhm.
and he was fantastic at it, and he didn't want to take photos of anything else. And so I connected with him, and I said, "Hey, you know where the landscape is, and I know where the individual is. So let's put them together. Um,
Mhm.
do you like to take? We have Jess, who's a phenomenal product photographer, and that's her thing. So you have to figure out what you're good at. What do you have the patience for? What can you endure? And trying to take on everything. Sure, eventually you will be able to branch off and do a wedding or and do a portrait session if you've decided on doing product. But being able to say I'm a product photographer first and then a wedding photographer is definitely
Mhm.
something I would recommend.
Mhm. Mhm. So what would you say was one of your biggest obstacles that you had to overcome, and what do you feel is next for you?
One of the biggest obstacles I had to overcome was getting around the people who didn't believe, who,
Mhm.
because I've been in many situations where people would, again, and like you said, we'll give them this amount of time, but those people who thought it would be a waste or why are you doing this? Are you doing this for this, ulterior motive or whatever, and I wasn't there trying to be like, what, I got to convince this person or I got to prove to this person. I just had so much passion for it that I could not be distracted by what someone else would think of what I was trying to do.
Mhm. Mhm.
I just knew that I wanted to learn it, and be honest with you, in the beginning, I didn't want to learn it because I wanted to make money. I wanted to
Mhm.
learn it because I wanted to learn it. I took a photo and I was like, wow. I remember one of my very close friends. Her name is Geneva. Renee, we always call her. She contacted me and asked me to do her wedding in Jamaica, and I was like, I was off
Me?
the phone. I was off the phone. I was like, what are you talking about? I can't do that. A wedding in Jamaica.
Mhm.
And I was like, after I got off the phone, I was like, again, here's somebody who believes in me more than I believe in myself. So I have to step
Mhm.
up to it. And of course, you had those people like, don't screw up that person's wedding. You're gonna screw up that person's wedding. Of course, you have those. Um, and we did her wedding photos, and they were beautiful. They were
Mm-hmm.
beautiful. I still look at them. I look at some of the settings I used at the time, and I was like, those were very incorrect.
But you did it.
But they look phenomenal.
Mm-hmm.
If I took them now, would I have used a better process and gotten the same image? Yeah, but they came out phenomenal.
Mm-hmm. I'm just going to touch on that really quickly because you said in people and the naysayers and the negative feedback, right? Like, so I had to learn the hard way that people a lot of times project their own limiting beliefs, fears,
Oh yeah,
and negative energy on you. And you have to have a level of resilience to not take it on, right? Because the right person can say the wrong thing, and then that becomes your inner voice every time, right? And so
every
you have to be
time. Oh
very,
yeah.
very, very,
Mhm.
very mindful of what you allow people to speak over you and what you allow people to say to you, because it can be discouraging, especially when you're in a space of fear or like insecurity, right? Like when you're just starting and you're just trying to figure things out and people come with their negative talk, it's like, dang, like really? So you have to have like a level of like, I don't want to curse, middle fingers. Some
Right.
people that like really come with their negative and their negative perspectives, their negative talk, their negative, everything is negative, and it's just like, okay, like is it really about me or is it really about you? Because I'm probably triggering you because you didn't have the courage enough to bet on yourself or to take the risk or to do the things that I'm doing. And I'm sorry that you didn't, but it's not my fault.
Yeah. Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? And let me tell you something. You can come with all that you want to say, but it's never gonna stop my show. It might hurt my feelings. It might make me
Mhm.
want to cry.
That made me
But I
think a
mean,
little bit.
go ahead, go ahead.
It might make me think a little bit, but it's not. It definitely.
It's not gonna stop the show, honey. It's not gonna stop. So it is what it is. So what's next for you?
What's next? I've been so. This is kind of weird. This is a little
Mhm.
weird. But I've never been a pregnant woman.
What?
Okay. All right. But the way that I put it is, I know I've seen plenty of of my sister has three boys, and
Not I'm not a pregnant woman. Go ahead.
yeah, my sister has three boys, and I've seen how excited parents are to meet their newborn, and that's exactly how excited I was for 2022. Um,
Mhm.
I'm 2022 is such a birth. It is such an opportunity for myself and for my team, and the guys that I work with, and we have so much. We have like a strategic platform now that we can say, we want to do this in January, we want to do this in February, we want to do this, and this year is gonna show us a lot. Again,
Mhm.
2019 was a little bit of a blank, and it gave us so much opportunity to work on ourselves and to perfect the things that we were doing. And then you press play on a lot of those things in 2021, and now you have 2022 where you've built your client base, you've developed trust with not just the client but with yourself, because you have to develop trust with yourself.
Mhm.
I used to leave my camera battery at home and be like, oh my god, and stuff like that. So now I've developed that trust with myself to know that I can go out and get done what I committed to. So that for 2022, I definitely plan on. I want to reach new audiences.
Mhm.
I want the studios in Connecticut. I want to spend more time with the Connecticut audience. I want to never turning my back on the on previous clients. Never, absolutely
Mhm.
never turning my back on them. But I definitely want to reach new clients.
Mhm. Mhm.
I
And
want to reach-
so what do you say? What do you want? What do you want for your business? What do you want? What do you want for yourself? Like, what are the things that you want? Listen, I'm asking you that because over here we manifest everything. Okay. So you speak what you want and it comes into
It
fruition.
comes,
So
it
what do
comes.
you want?
I want to be a full-time photographer.
By
So
when?
like by tomorrow. Nope. I mean, like I in the meeting that I had with the guys, I told them, and Wendy Jermaine, who you also know, he's sitting there with his teeth, all his teeth back here were showing when I said it. Oh, excuse me, I knew this would
You're
happen.
fine. You're fine.
Um, he was very excited to hear that. Oh, my lights won't turn on. Well, that's fine.
You're fine.
Yeah, he was very excited to hear that I'd be moving in that direction,
Mhm.
and it was great. And that's definitely the direction that I want to move in.
Mhm. And
Very
what else?
soon, very soon. The Q1, Q1,
Q1. Q1.
one,
Q1.
Q1.
And what else do you want? What do you want for your business goals, money wise, client wise, who you want to work with?
I definitely want to do a lot more weddings. I want to do a lot more weddings. I want to do a lot more events. Recently, and I plan to talk to you about this. I guess it's a good time for you to know that.
Mm-hmm.
I did start a new social media page. I started a new social media platform for event
Mm-hmm.
photography so that I can kind of separate them. And I definitely want to become more involved in event photography because I absolutely love event photography.
Mm-hmm.
Weddings are considered events. They're on a bigger scale, but they are a part of event photography as well.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and I want to reach more families. I want
Mm-hmm.
to get more people in the studio. I want to get more people acquainted to the studio. A lot of folks from the city, from Queens, from Brooklyn, from the Bronx, and from even Lower Westchester are like, oh man, Connecticut is so far. I definitely want to see those people more comfortable with coming up to the studio.
Mm-hmm. And tell people how they can connect with you.
You can connect with me. I'm also, that's another thing that I want to. Excuse me for going backwards here a little
You're
bit.
fine.
I want to get my website up and running so that
Mm-hmm.
folks can have that as another way of connecting with me. My Instagram page is just my perspective with an underscore at the end.
Mm-hmm.
Um, my phone number, everything is there. So that's honestly the best way to contact me. My email is just my perspective89 at gmail.com.
Mm-hmm.
And I've also become I've become a lot quicker with responding to emails and text
Mm-hmm.
messages and
Mm-hmm.
however folks are more comfortable with contacting me.
And you better plug that studio. Like what?
Yeah, 64 Wall Street, Norwalk, Connecticut, Suite
What's
301.
the name? Like, give us the information. Give us the tea.
The Main Event Studios and KDG Studio.
Mm-hmm.
KDG is our umbrella, platform that we all use. Creative Elements. Um, um, Sean was there. Wendy is there. So, we've all come together to create this wonderful platform that we all enjoy.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And where is it one more time?
64 Wall Street, Norwalk, Connecticut.
Listen, I went. It's the drive is not bad. Listen, just turn
Not
turn
bad.
your music, vibe out, audio book, whatever it is that you do to enjoy the time that you have for leisure, and drive up there, and it'll be an experience that you will never, ever, 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 ever forget. Not one of the photo shoots, and I've done at least 7, at least with with KDG, with Creative Elements, with Just My Perspective. Like I've done at least that many. Like and events and all that good stuff. Like probably more than that. Because when I was a GM, I had you guys come in for events, for parties, for whatever. Like, so we probably have done more than 7 photo shoots, but it's definitely worthwhile. It's definitely worth the investment. It's definitely worth the experience because what you get afterwards is just like it's like you said, it's memories and it's lifelong things that you can carry with you. It's helped me to build my brand. I'm just saying. So I'm super excited for you guys. I'm super excited for what you have coming. And yes, full-time photographer as of tomorrow. Absolutely. You're gonna get it. Your monetary goals, your life goals, you're going to get all of that because you are an amazing individual and you deserve it all. So I appreciate you for coming. I appreciate your contribution to Employee to Empire. And listen, this will not be the last time you see me, okay, beautiful people? But what will happen?
You people see me. I'll be back on here shortly. Yeah. But I definitely appreciate you and all that. I've just like you've watched my growth, I've seen your growth, and it's phenomenal. It's really inspiring to be able to see all the things that you've accomplished. It's a beautiful thing. I mean, I'm just looking at we're sitting here on this program here. It's exciting. I mean, I might have bitten off 2 fingernails, while the intro was going off. I was like, man, it's powerful. It really feels good.
I appreciate you. I appreciate it. This is only the beginning. It's only the beginning for you too. I told you that the other day. This is only the beginning. We're just getting started. Like you said, 2020, we had to take time to just, sit. The pandemic came and all that other stuff, and it took time to like really sit. And in 2021, which is laying the foundation. So 2022, he coming.
Let's go.
Be ready.
Right.
Stay tuned.
On December 31st, right. I won't. I'm not gonna sit here and lie and say at 11:59. But at some point in the night, I sat there and I thought to myself, I'm not gonna say here goes nothing. I'm gonna say here goes everything. And that's
yes. Listen, everything. I say 2022 is a year of execution. Okay, the year of accountability. The year of doing exactly what you said you were going to do. I'm talking to myself, child. Okay, so,
right.
So let's get into this lovely trailer. Because listen, I put a lot of time and effort, and this is the reason why we are here. So enjoy. people. Actually, goodbye, beautiful people. I appreciate you all for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed watching this episode as much as I enjoyed creating it. Thank you to the amazing Garon for sharing his story, being transparent. And listen. Over here, we are employees go building our own empires, and he is the epitome of that. And as well as all the amazing other business owners that we've had on this platform. I'm super excited, and I appreciate all of you for tuning in. I appreciate all of the amazing business owners and co-authors that contributed to this project and to make this happen. I appreciate all of you for showing up and showing out, and keep doing what you're doing, because listen, this is our winning season. This is our harvest season. We are coming to take over. So trust and believe this will not be the last time that you see me. And I'm 150% sure that this would not be the last time that you're going to see Garon and all these amazing people that have been on this lovely platform this week. And until next time, bye, beautiful people. And make sure you go get that book, Employees Empire, at employeesempire.com. Until next time.